What's going on, guys? We are here with a trap in the Kann, a 6-move trap in the Kann. We're playing against it. It's actually e4. Of course, after we play e4, we put a pawn in the center of the board, as you should. And then after e4, there's c6, signifying that they're going to play the Kann defense. After d4 with 2 pawns in the center of the board, now we have central control. Black responds with d5, hence the move c6. So now if captures, they'll take back with a pawn with equal play. Of course, that's how openings go. Then we have knight to d2 or knight to c3. Virtually the same. I'm actually more of a fan of the knight to c3 because it keeps our bishop open. After knight to c3, d takes e4, and after the pawn is captured, we take back with the knight. On e4, we have a nice central knight, and black can respond in a bunch of ways, but generally we'll see either knight f6 or bishop f5 or even some other moves too as well. Now, black can go knight f6 here, but this is what actually damages their structure after we take knight takes f6 with check, and after e takes or g takes f6, they have a damaged pawn structure. And some players just don't want to play with the damaged pawn structure, which is totally fine. So if they don't want to play with this damaged pawn structure, what they'll do is they'll try to prepare this move, knight f6, to take back with the knight, so knight to d7. So let's give black an extra move here. They'll actually want to go knight f6, and now if we end up taking, they'll take back with a piece rather than a pawn damaging the structure. So if we go back to what happens here is after knight to d7, we know that they want to go knight f6. So of course, if we know what our opponent wants to do, sometimes, lots of times in fact, I highly recommend you can set up traps for them. So here it is, queen to e2. And it's like, yo, this is weird. What is this move doing? In fact, queen e2 actually is preparing to capture queenside because we have to move our bishop out of the way, rather d2, e3, or f4, sometimes even g5. And you're going to end up casting queenside and play in a more of an aggressive manner. So black's like, cool, this move doesn't bother me much. And they go knight g to f6. And they put the knight here. And then you smile, you smirk, you look around the room, you stare at them. You sure about that? Well, they're already done when they made the move because knight to d6 is checkmate. And it's called a smothered mate, in fact. Smothered mate because the king is smothered in gravy by his own pieces, in fact. So he can't move and he's in check, and he's also checkmated because of the pin on the e file. If you've seen this trap before, say something in the comments. If you use this trap, say something in the comments. And if you haven't, just say something in the comments. No, of course, this is a very cool trap. I'll actually run through it one more time just so you guys can see it in full time here. One more time. Here we go. E4, c6, d4, d5. Knight to c3, d takes e, knight takes e4. Knight to d7, queen e2, knight f6, knight d6 mate. Make sure you slam it down like that too, especially if you're playing over the board there. But you win in 6 moves here against the Kann. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you on the next one.